Hey Bible lovers, I'm Tim Nichols, and I'm here to bring you your Nichols Worth. And today from Catholic Bible Press, we have the RSV-2CE. I've been excited about this release because there's not a whole lot of options out there in a thin line for Catholics, and there's very few when it comes to the RSV-2CE. Ignatius Press has one out, but I don't like the creamy paper, so I was really looking forward to seeing this. And if you know of other Catholic thin lines that I don't know about, holler at me and let me know, because I'd like to see some other options. And of course, I am not a Catholic, but I do appreciate the Apocrypha, and I do appreciate certain elements of the Catholic faith. So if you wanted something in kind of a thin line, large print wheelhouse, you had to go with either the NRSV that was put out by Catholic Bible Press. Really nice Bible. I actually read this one. I've read this one from cover to cover, even the Apocrypha. And you can see very nice, large print, beautiful Catholic comfort print, which we'll talk about in a moment. And just really nice layout, but it's in the NRSV, and the NRSV is really not among my favorite translations. I prefer something a little more conservative. Or you could go with a newer release with TAN, also known as St. Benedict Press. This is a really nice, but it's a Douay-Rheims, and Douay-Rheims can be a little bit difficult for the average reader to read, but this is a very nice 10-point font, very nice layout, great paper. Really like the paper. Excellent read through. I love the Douay-Rheims. I really enjoyed reading it. It does have some Catholic biases in the translation, but overall, I really thought this was a great experience. Now, I have also read the RSV. Now, I've not read the Catholic edition. I've read the standard edition of the RSV, but this is from Catholic Bible Press. Has a really nice leather soft. Now, you're going to hear me use some familiar terms from Thomas Nelson and Zondervan. I'll tell you why in just a moment. But it's got a nice little cross stamped on the cover with the design around it. Really nice spine hubs. It's a little bit off center here, but that could just be a one-off on the stamping process because these are stamped by the thousands. Again, Catholic Bible Press has some really nice gilt lines on the hubs and that same symbol on the spine. It does only have one ribbon. I was a little disappointed by that. I would have liked to have seen at least 2 ribbons, but really I'd like to see 3. So now let's go ahead and get in to the layout here. You're going to see a very familiar format where the presentation page is in the liner. It's going to be similar to this one. And then we're going to get into this paper. This is a really nice paper, really nice and opaque. I don't know the thickness of this paper, but if I were guessing, I'd say 33 GSM. That's kind of where I'm leaning. This feels like a 33 GSM. It is line matched. It has the Catholic comfort print, which if you notice comfort print, you notice that Zondervan and Thomas Nelson also have comfort print for their translations. Catholic Bible Press also has its own comfort print for all of its Catholic translations. In fact, it's going to be the same comfort print as this, but it has some limited notes on the bottom. And then as you go through, this is a 10-point font, and again, this is a comfort print font. Really nice, and as you can see, there's a lot of notes down here. Really love this layout. Now, as it is with your Catholic Bibles, the Apocrypha is going to be interspersed throughout your Old Testament. So you're going to have the Wisdom of Solomon, 1st and 2nd Maccabees, and on and on and on. Your additions to Esther, which I'm going to show you something interesting, and maybe somebody can tell me why they do this. I've not been able to figure it out as I read all the introductory material. Is at the beginning of the book of Esther, and even in Daniel in some parts, they italicize some of this. So I don't know exactly why they do that, because they don't italicize the entire Apocrypha, but they do also italicize the end of the book of Esther, but I don't believe they do it in Daniel. If we can go ahead and check. We got Ezekiel, we got Daniel coming up, and then when we get to the prayer of Azariah is, then when you get toward the end, where you're with like the bell and the dragon and Susanna, it's not italicized in that part. So it's a little confusing to me why they italicize some parts of the apocryphal additions to single books. Now, they're not going to italicize the entire Apocrypha, obviously. But like the additions to Daniel, part of them are, part of them aren't. And then with Esther, it seems all those additions are italicized. Somebody tell me what's up with that, because I have no idea. Also, there's something I couldn't quite figure out. Sometimes they'll have an asterisk, sometimes they'll have a cross, sometimes they'll have a double cross, and there's several different symbols they use. I could not figure anything out by reading the preface, so I don't know exactly what those are. I don't know if that's just letting you know that there's more than one reference on this page, but they put them within the text. So there's definitely a reasoning behind that cross and double cross and all that. I just don't know why those different symbols are there. And since we're in the New Testament, you can see that the words of Christ are going to be in black, which is really nice. I love the consistency of black print text. For some reason, when you do red letters, they can be a little bit all over the place because it's hard to get red letter right. In fact, with Loretto, my one disappointment with this one is the red letter is just a little bit too light for me. in some places. There it's fine, but there you can see it's a little bit light. Red letter is just difficult to get right, and I appreciate Bibles without them. But as you can see, once you get into the New Testament, the cross-references and notes get a lot more robust. And then as we get to the end, let's get to the book of Revelation and see what we've got after your Bible. You're going to have the parables of Christ. You're going to have the miracles of Jesus Christ, which you see a lot in a lot of Catholic Bibles and even Protestant Bibles for that matter. And then that's it. You go to your note about the typeface, which you're going to recognize this page on your Thomas Nelson and Zondervan Bibles, and then you have your typical Zondervan Thomas Nelson maps. Another little feature about this that I want to show you that I really like is I like the little book titles. It has a little symbol there. It just kind of gives a little extra touch. So why are we using the terms leather soft? Why are we using the terms comfort print? That is because Catholic Bible Press is also a division of HarperCollins Christian. HarperCollins Christian actually consists of 3 separate companies that produce Bibles, and that is Thomas Nelson, Zondervan, and Catholic Bible Press. While these 3 companies are pretty much unrelated, they are related in the sense they have the same parent company. So if you're wondering why are we using the term comfort print, why are we using the term leather soft, and why do they have similarities? Well, that's because they are owned by the same parent company. Interesting stuff, but if you are looking for an RSV-2CE in a thin line format with great paper, with that great Catholic comfort print, with that beautiful font, you're not going to find a better option than this. So there you have it. God bless you. Keep calm. Jesus on. This is your Nicholsworth.